I tell you about the time I
Smart
was at the Thanksgiving with a family member who's like a Zoomer who's really into Smash Bros. Melee?
Oh god.
This person had brought Smash Bros. Melee, and I was the only person willing to play with them because they like played pseudo competitively.
Yeah.
And I proceeded to just like lose every single matchup with just random characters. I would just pick one, he would just completely dominate me every time. Just like 5 stocks down, 5 stock down, 5 stock down. We did that for like an hour until he's like, alright, I'm finally gonna play my main. And then I just picked Donkey Kong, who I don't fucking know. And then he got 3 of my stock down, and then I got 1 KO on him, paused the game, yelled, "Let's go Mets, baby!" and walked away.
I honestly have nothing to say to that. Like, was there a plan involved? Or why did you agree to play with this person? Knowing that the whole...
family politics.
Okay, I see.
But also the other thing is, I kind of wanted to be I wanted to be a role model in losing repeatedly to someone who's being sweaty without being the least bit emotionally affected by it.
Yeah. That's some Jedi shit right there. You Obi-Wan Kenobi'd his ass.
I'm in my Obi-Wan Kenobi phase.
I probably would not have been able to do that. I don't like being bad at things.
I would simply refuse, and then make fun of anyone who decided that they wanted to play relentlessly.
This is consistent. Chris, what's your characterization via your reaction to a family member playing Super Smash Bros. Melee sweatily?
I don't think I've ever played Smash Brothers with a single family member. And I have 4 siblings.
Chris is that person. He can't get anyone else to play with him.
If you went to a family thing, and there was a young person there, a Zoomer, and they were like, I really love this competitive fighting game, and no one's playing with this person because they really love this competitive fighting game, what would you do in that situation?
I mean, I have a nephew and niece, but they're real into, like, Pokemon, so I just end up listening to them.
No, this is a fantasy scenario.
Yes, open a portal to the world of imagination.
We're not asking you to give... I'm not interrogating you like a detective, like I want to know where you were at 9 p.m. last night. I'm asking you to use your imagination.
But we'd also like to know that. Hello, skeletons. Goodbye, skeleton. Ah.
Alright, we're just gonna have to get a research team and invest in a simulation.
We gotta get. You said you had a 3D printer, Rutskarn?
Exactly. I'll make a miniature of Chris. We'll draft some rules. Tabletop family
simulation
reunion.
life game. Die, ghost.
I think my destiny is to become one of those people who are like, I've played the Battle of Waterloo in every single miniatures game that exists, and I think I could have done better than Napoleon, except for social situations through soft story-based role-playing games. Like, I role-played your argument using Powered by the Apocalypse, and I think I could have done better.
It's like that, what's that one show where that guy, like, has people rehearse the situation over and over again, so that when he goes to the real situation, he's, like, ready?
The rehearsal?
That's it! That's what it's called!
I've never heard of this show, and I was not ready for that reveal.
Yo, you really need to watch it. It's, like, one of the best shows I've ever seen. He's like, are you socially awkward? Let's improv until you feel better.
Oh, it's Nathan Silver, I see. Suddenly it's coming together.
I can finally complete.
Catch you up on what's going on in the Oblivion right now. We gave Martin that artifact, and he said Joffrey was looking for us, and Joffrey's like, oh shit, an Oblivion gate opened up right outside of Bruma, and they need your help. Also, when you've got the time, Martin needs you to go to the tomb of Typer Septim and get his armor. So we decided to go to the Tomb of Tiber Septim and get his armor and leave Bruma to just, deal with it.
To discover what evil had defiled the holy
Cool.
So now we're in a place called Sancre Tor,
We
where
know that the Undertaker,
some
who was the
undead shit is happening.
to take his first revenge
Um,
on his former lord.
and we're gonna get some help from some ghosts of some blades to get
And
the
ensnare
armor of
his
Tiber Septim so we can use it.
enchant and bound us
Remember when, like, 4 ages ago, everyone was naming their kids stuff like Tiber and Kyber?
shrine
Uh-huh.
Were they?
septum.
Not this guy, though. This guy's the realist.
I was Realus, loyal blade.
It's also a Valdemar.
Septum. I do not know how long I have been dead. It feels
I feel like they
Tiber's
could
a
have
pretty
put a
funny name.
little bit more spice on the dialogue, right? Instead of "I do not know how long I have been here. It feels like an eternity."
I mean, that's
Yeah.
evil
kind of just
Just
a
the-
general Oblivion Elder Scrolls problem there.
We don't blame the voice actors because they were given the script willy-nilly, but I do blame the people who wrote the fucking... Because I feel like if you gave a voice actor fun lines, they could do whatever. But these are just like, oh my god,
brooded over our.
expositioning me to death.
I believe
Yeah,
can undo the Underking
we gotta beat the Underking.
magic.
I think a certain...
Go now to complete my duty.
Not that part.
How much of that came through?
Septum,
just I think a certain part. Brah.
my brother.
Yeah, there's an abrupt disagreement.
We may be able to Underking.
Anyway, I think some of that ultimately just comes down to also the fact that, like, if you're a writer, you're like, man, I can't really wait to put some, like, English, to put some stink on all this stuff. I'm super excited. And they're like, great, we need 50,000 voice lines by next Thursday. Like, I can pretty easily imagine just getting to the point where you're like, I'm gonna budget out one interesting line today. Like, today at lunch, I'm gonna take my lunch hour and I'm gonna go back to one line and I'm gonna punch it up. Everything else, I just need to get it out there.
Yeah.
So Starfield, I was about to say Elder Scrolls 6, but instead I said Starfield.
What's the difference?
It remains to be seen.
the-
Starfield has a release
that's
date.
the-
That's the difference.
Waka waka waka.
The Elder Scrolls 6 is just an HD remake of the Elder Scrolls 5.
Well, no, they have AI working on it right now. They've compiled
God.
all of the other ones, and then they had the AI make it. So yeah.
The second I hear that AI had anything to do with writing it in Elder Scrolls games, the second I'm absolutely certain I don't want to play it. Not even for, like, principal reasons, but just like
Not
all
curious?
like it
Not
is
curious
the
at all.
I would be curious enough to go on Twitter the week after it came out. That is how curious I would be.
Okay.
Assuming Twitter still exists at that point.
Yeah, Twitter or Tumblr, because obviously that is actually that's the Bailey. Is
Who
that
here
the
had
one you retreat
Tumblr
to? I can't
outlives
remember.
Twitter on their fucking bingo card?
I'll be honest, like I think whoever owns it now, Yahoo, just said something kind of alarming about it, but otherwise, it's pretty much the only social media platform that has a 5 anywhere in the zip code of where I want to be right now.
Everything that I've heard about Tumblr after the whole exodus from the porn ban is basically they gave up and nobody's
Yeah.
like really moderating it anymore.
Well, the main thing that happened is that everybody that was on there and was like kind of fractious and strident is now like 30 and mellow, and they're tired of fighting and they're tired of war and they just want to chill out, absolutely curate a community around whatever bullshit they want and just, like, not fucking talk about anything else. And I think I could go for that. That sounds good. This is not obviously a universal observation either of how the platform works or of what I want out of social media. I'm somewhat exaggerating, but...
Come on.
I could definitely go for a scene where everybody's, like, has some perspective.
Yeah.
I need to live long enough for Dragon Age Red Wolf to come out. I just need to make it through until I can play the next Dragon Age game. And then I'm fine. That's...
I know you.
Oh, cool. We don't have a conversation with this one.
I don't even care about the next Mass Effect game. I'm sure it's fine. I don't care.
Are they making another Mass Effect game?
Yes, right now, my dude. And it's probably going to be in the same, like, year span as Shepard. It's supposed to be around Shepard.
You know, like...
You know, I mean, they could just go, fuck it, Shepard lived at Mass Effect 4.
Yeah, why not? Well, I mean, in one version she does, so I don't know.
Yeah.
You know how you don't necessarily...
Go ahead.
No, you first.
Why can't I do that?
I was gonna say, like, Picard, spoilers, but Picard is like a fucking robot, so, like, why not Shepard? They got it in Star Trek, why not Mass Effect, you know?
that is something that Shepard and Picard share, is that they've both been dead before.
They've both been dead before, and now they can be less dead inside of a robot body. It's synthetics, right? You can find a way!
Why did I?
What if they just make Shepard the protagonist, and in 5 seconds, someone says, Shepard, I thought you died, and Shepard just looks right at the camera, just fucking barrels it, and just says, fuck it, and then it's never addressed again.
He just
Fuck it, and walks off of the stage, and then you're someone else for the rest of the game.
Wow. Fuck it, we're going nut, going full goblin mode.
Yeah, they also need to make every other line that Shepard says a line from Succession.
Yes! Oh my god, it's just like a real dream.
Shit, if they made a Mass Effect movie having the actor who does Kendall Roy, it would be actually a funny choice for Shepard.
Our baby girl, Kendall Roy.
He just, like, he's fucking sitting before, like, the council, just like, yeah, I'm just coming here from Earth to represent the humans, and I just wanted to say, yo.
Fucking, I don't, you know, fucking, let's just do it then, if that's what we want to do. Fucking, the numbers say it, so why can't it just happen that way? It's a pretty good impression. I've been working on that one.
What's this? Nothing. Well, we're back to the lame loot again. Hey, how does killing ghosts work? Because there are ghosts here and we're killing
You're
them.
destroying their corporal manifestation on this plane.
Yeah.
Ectoplasm represents something insubstantial that has been kind of caught within a physical medium along the lines of, like, the lightning in one of those weird Hot Topic plasma balls.
It's like when you put gack on your fist and you go, whoa, there's gack on my fist. And then if you remove the fist, it's just gack.
No, I didn't know that you'd studied this. That's cutting edge research.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more of the hands-on professorial type when it comes to unexplained mysteries.
So I've been running a campaign for a while, which is coming to a conclusion soon, where they have a ship that's like the main deal. It's like a historical pirate type game. And they got to pick out all these qualities for their ship, but then they had to pay for them with negative qualities, like drawbacks. And one of them was haunted. And so I've just kind of had these ghosts on the ship, and my goal has been, like, kind of my disciplines for the ghost is they're not really physical, they're not really tangible, like they could like exert a little bit of physical force. They can't change their shape or make any illusions. All they can really do is appear to specific people or not appear and talk. And it's like, how many unique ways can I ruin everything with these guys?
Okay, I have some questions about this, actually.
Go for it.
Number one, can they mimic other people's speech?
Aha! So, the first thing that ever happened was, like, so the crew, this is when it's just a skeleton crew of the people who stole the ship, they're sailing out, they don't know about the ghost yet. And it's like, I'm narrating this to, like, the one person who's, like, at the wheel, and, like, you know, all the other people who are up the top, like, and who they're, it's kind of quiet because it's the middle of the night, and let kids watch. It's like, yeah, you're getting to the end of yours, you're tired, you haven't made any progress with reaching out to this one guy. At around midnight, like, a hand touches your shoulder, and it's like, okay, yeah, you could take next watch, it's fine. You can go to Brest, I'll take next watch. And so then he goes down, I'm like, yep, you see down the hold, the various people in hammocks. And he's like, mm-hmm. And then, like, his eyes suddenly, like, dart to the side as he realizes that I just named in the hammocks all of the crew that were not accounted for on the top deck already. Whereupon the ship hits a rock. And the answer... No, the ghost can't impersonate other members of the crew, but I don't specifically say that a specific character is talking.
Okay, interesting. And so your ghosts have full ability to speak? They don't have any, like, weird quirks? Like, some ghosts can only say certain things, or they, like, are on a loop of, like, obsessive things that they'll say, depending on how they died? You don't have any of that kind of stuff going?
Not so much, because the premise of them is that it's just kind of like they're just trying to fuck with these guys as much as possible, and that is their personality. That is what's left.
Well, that's valid.
Just
that's a
fucking
valid ghost. Yeah, that's very valid.
So they get to the island, and they get a bunch of new crew, and then they're sailing out for a while, and one of the crew is like this kind of like young hotshot dude. And he's kind of like the guy who's like, the main captain is sort of a Viking-ish, like, macho dude. And this young guy's really looking up to him because he needs, like, this kind of, like, machismo role model. And this he's starting to get, like, kind of cocky, and people are sort of getting the sense that he's, like, being a little smug about a relationship he's in, because fraternizing is allowed due to the crew charter. But nobody's, like, so everybody's gossiping about who he might be, like, stealing time with. And finally he comes on, like, hey, he comes to the captain, like, and the night shift, like, hey, can I get my shift moved to the early morning? Because, you know, I want to make more time with my lady. And the captain's like, yeah, okay. Who are you dating? He's like, come on, you know, Ruma. And the captain's like, what? Because Ruma is not one of the new crew members they hired.
Okay, but does that mean he's kissing a ghost? I thought you said that the ghost can't, like, you know, have physical touch.
Physical touch is what is allowed, but it's kind of weird touch is what I've... But, like, the thing about Nail It is that he's never had a lady before, and he doesn't know that it's not supposed to feel like that.
He doesn't know how that feels. Ugh.
So, like, that's actually a conversation he has with, like, kind of one of the, like, older female NPC crew members, where, like, they just hear him, like, kind of, like, whispering to her, and she's like, oh, no, honey, it's not supposed to feel like that.
Oh, my God.
So, like, that's huge morale damage for him, and that, like, kind of becomes an issue where, like, he both, like, kind of loses his mind, and also the crew has not stopped giving him shit about it for even, like, 1 minute since it happened.
Oh, my God. Amazing.
Trying to think of... so the third one was actually kind of nasty, in the sense that what they're hiring... The crew they're hiring are, like, blue-collar, like, workaday pirate types, but, like, they have a quest that's a little more, like, fantasy and weird, and a lot... Actually, I would say 90% of the tension and kind of plot of the stories comes from the fact that, like, none of these pirates trust the main characters for a second, because all of this is too weird for them. It's, like, way over their head, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, and
like
so...
the scientist in Jaws coming in doing his scientist thing. Get out of here.
Yeah, and so there's one crew member in particular who, like, they warn him, because, like, they're actually being forthcoming where they're like, hey, listen, there's going to be a lot of, like, evil ghosts and shit and like weird
put the armor
sea monsters. But he's just like this like
good.
he's this like operator beard, like kind of manly man type also, and he's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't believe any of that. Like, I've been around, I've never seen any of this stupid bullshit. You guys are just afraid of nothing. And then it happens, and he's having trouble dealing with it, and he's having trouble dealing with the fact that he's actually scared shitless of all the stuff they're doing, but he can't admit it because he can't admit he's a coward. So he's like trying to grapple with all this and reconcile all of it, and one of the ghosts starts appearing to him saying, hey, listen, these guys, they're luring you to your deaths. We were their last crew, and once we figured out what they were really doing, they killed all of us. You need to do something about it. Here's where they keep the stuff that the magic items they lock up at night. You need to lead a mutiny.
Oh my god.
So they fortunately managed to nip that one in the bud. They kind of catch it, and they saved like a bunch. They like wisely saved like the old ship's crew charter so that they could prove that like no, like before we had this ship for like 2 weeks before we hired on the first of the new crew members, and they obviously didn't see us murder an entire separate crew. These ghosts are just assholes. They're just lying to you.
Oh my god.
So they managed to save that one, and then the last time it happened was they've been chased by like this kraken demon type thing for months and months, and when it finally catches up to them, they realize that almost none of their weapons work against it, and they're like, all right, here's like our last ditch effort. It's weak to magic weapons, but we don't have any magic weapons except like 1 or 2. Let's load one of our other magic items into a cannon and fire it, and this is like the only one we can use. And as the gunner goes to fire it, one of the ghosts like covers her eyes peekaboo style.
Oh no.
What have you done?
What happened?
But like
if
still
they
the
all
roll comes
die?
through.
Like, do they
Well,
also
the
become
player character?
ghosts? Yeah, if you die, do you get to become a ghost too, or are you just you're fucked?
That is an interesting question that I haven't necessarily had the chance to consider. Inconveniently, they're all surviving so far.
Because that might be a fun little twist. Just don't let them watch this video again. But that could
Oh,
be
sure.
fun because they could be a silly little ghost just like everybody else.
Become a little stinker.
Well, my horse died inexplicably, so that's cool. I think that's the horse we intimidated someone into letting us steal, too, so...
One thing that also amuses me that's the fallout of the Ruma ghost girlfriend incident is that every time they hire new crew now, they introduce them to each crew member individually and make it clear that these are the only crew members, and if they see any other crew members, it's not a crew member.
The septim blood may flow through my
Like, if you
veins,
joined
but
this
you
crew
have
at
the
this point,
soul
there's
of
a lot of
hero.
environmental
Armor
storytelling.
of Tiber Septim himself. Joffrey will be amazed to see it. You can reassure Joffrey that I will not destroy the armor. All I need is a scraping of Talos's divine blood. The blades are as touchy as priests about relics of Tiber Septim, it seems.